No one noticed Katie until the CEO froze mid-step one night outside the executive boardroom. There, under flickering hallway lights, Katie was speaking fluent Mandarin, then effortlessly switched to Russian and then German. She was alone, or so she thought. The CEO stood in stunned silence, his briefcase hanging at his side, forgotten. Who was this woman? And why was she hiding such a rare gift? What the CEO did next would unravel secrets no one in the company was ready for. Katie had tired eyes and a name tag always tilted sideways. She pushed her mop down the hall like it was an extension of herself. The office staff barely acknowledged her, even though she had worked there for over 5 years. She never spoke unless spoken to, never ate in the break room, and always clocked in 5 minutes early. To everyone, Katie was just part of the background until that one night. CEO Daniel Marks, known for being sharp, relentless, and nearly impossible to impress, had returned to the office late to retrieve a forgotten file. What he overheard in the hallway made him stop in his tracks. Katie, practicing 9 languages flawlessly. She was reciting diplomatic phrases in Arabic, correcting herself in flawless Japanese, and even testing her French intonation with the precision of a seasoned interpreter. Daniel watched, unseen, questions piling faster than answers. The next morning, Daniel requested a background check on Katie, but the report came back nearly blank. No college, no known certifications, no military service, just an emergency contact and an old apartment address. It made no sense. No one with that level of linguistic skill should be pushing a mop down corporate hallways. That afternoon, Daniel sent a private message to his assistant. Schedule Katie for a private meeting. Discreetly. No one is to know. But Katie did not show up for the meeting. Instead, she vanished. The security footage showed Katie slipping out the rear service exit at exactly 6:02 a.m., hours before the office opened. Her mop leaned eerily against the wall, and her uniform was folded with military precision on a bench. She was gone. No goodbyes, no trace, no indication she had ever existed beyond that hallway. Daniel watched the footage on loop. Something felt wrong. Too clean, too controlled. People do not vanish like that. Not without help, not without planning. He had heard something in Katie's voice that night, something practiced but not rehearsed, as if she had been preparing for that moment her whole life. He reached out to contacts far outside corporate circles, private investigators, government linguists, even a retired CIA operative. One by one, they reviewed the hallway audio. Their responses ranged from disbelief to quiet alarm. This woman is not self-taught, one said. She was trained, somewhere, high level, possibly covert. Word of Katie's disappearance began to spread. Employees whispered about the strange janitor who spoke like a diplomat. The staff avoided the hallway where she had last been seen, as if her absence haunted the building. The cleaning crew refused to mop there. Daniel grew paranoid. He began sleeping in his office, watching the door. And then, 2 weeks later, it arrived. A nondescript envelope slid under his door in the dead of night. No stamps, no fingerprints. Inside, a cassette tape and a single hand-folded note. The paper smelled faintly of motor oil and jasmine. The message read, "If you are still listening, you were never the one I feared." Daniel's hands trembled as he placed the tape into an old player. Katie's voice poured through the speakers, fluent, steady, chilling. She spoke in 9 languages, weaving a single tale, her own. She described years in shadows, languages learned in locked rooms, missions she hinted at but never named. She never said where she had gone, but in the final seconds, she switched to perfect English and spoke directly to Daniel. "You brought the eyes back on me. Now they are watching you." The tape ended in silence. But behind the silence, A faint clicking sound, like someone recording. Daniel's hands shook as he hit rewind on the tape again, focusing on the faint, almost imperceptible clicking noise trailing Katie's chilling final words. Now they are watching you. What did it mean? Was it a hidden signal or a warning to stop? A surge of dread rushed through Daniel. He was no longer just a CEO uncovering a mystery. He was a target. From that moment, nothing felt the same. Shadows seemed to follow him. Unmarked black SUVs parked too long outside his house. Strangers lingering just out of sight. At work, he caught fleeting glances in reflective glass, faces that vanished when he turned. His phone buzzed with encrypted messages from unknown numbers, some containing photos of his home's front door, others with ominous phrases like, "You are closer than you think." Daniel's attempts to shield himself only seemed to invite more danger. His private security caught a suspicious man photographing his car's license plate late one night. But when they confronted him, the man vanished like smoke. Even his closest allies seemed suddenly distant, eyes filled with fear or warning silence. Back at the office, whispers about Katie turned into uneasy rumors. Some swore she had vanished with a secret, something so explosive it could bring down powerful figures. Others claimed to glimpse her ghost-like figure in distant cities, subways, cafes, even airports. But every investigation hit dead ends. No travel records, no surveillance footage, nothing. In desperation, Daniel searched through Katie's sparse belongings, discarded cleaning gloves, a worn notebook filled with indecipherable codes, maps dotted with strange symbols, and repeated phrases in multiple languages. One page stood out, a single phrase circled obsessively: "Find the Guardian. Trust no one." Who was the Guardian? Why was Katie leaving this clue for him? As Daniel delved deeper, pieces began to fall into place. Katie was not just an employee or a gifted linguist. She was a protector, a shadow operative safeguarding a secret that powerful forces wanted silenced. Was the company involved? Was Katie running from something far more dangerous than anyone realized? Then came the phone call. At 3 a.m., Daniel's phone vibrated violently. Caller ID blocked. His breath caught as a voice whispered, cold and urgent, "You do not understand what you have unleashed. Walk away now, or you will pay the price." The line went dead before Daniel could respond. He tried to shake the fear, but his world was unraveling. Meetings with board members felt tense. Colleagues avoided his gaze, and strange glitches plagued his computer. Emails disappeared, files corrupted. Was someone inside the company sabotaging him? One night, while working late, Daniel's office door creaked open. He turned sharply, heart racing, but no one was there. On his desk lay a single, folded note in unfamiliar handwriting. "You're not alone, but they are closer than ever." Behind the note, a small USB drive gleamed under the dim light. With trembling fingers, Daniel plugged it in. A single file played, a video of Katie, looking directly into the camera, speaking in a hushed tone. "If you see this, it means they found me. You must finish what I started. The Guardian is real, and the truth will set us free, or destroy us all." The screen went black, leaving Daniel alone in the dark, the weight of unseen eyes pressing in from every direction. Daniel's hands trembled as he shut off the flickering projector. The images on the cracked walls, documents, secret agents, and the elusive Guardian etched themselves into his mind like a puzzle he had no right to solve. Every instinct screamed that he was in deeper than ever before, but he could not stop now. Not after Katie's warning. Not after everything she had risked. Suddenly, the warehouse door slammed shut with a thunderous bang behind him. The sound echoed like a verdict. Daniel's breath hitched. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, approached through the darkness. His pulse thundered in his ears. He spun around, heart hammering, but the shadows swallowed the figure before he could see a face. A voice, cold and cruel, whispered from the darkness, "You should have never come here." The words clawed at Daniel's resolve. He was no longer just a man chasing answers. He was a pawn in a dangerous game, and the players were closing in fast. With every ounce of strength, Daniel bolted toward the emergency exit, his footsteps pounding against the cracked concrete floor. The door slammed open to the chill night air, and a black SUV roared past, its headlights slicing through the darkness like knives. He dove into a narrow alley just in time, his lungs burning, heart racing. Somewhere behind him, voices shouted, orders barked, footsteps chasing. Back in the safety of his office, the reality settled in like a heavy fog. Katie had vanished for a reason. She had been guarding something so powerful, so dangerous, that people would kill to keep it hidden. The quiet janitor who spoke 9 languages was a key to a secret that could change everything, if it ever saw the light of day. Daniel sat alone in the dark, the weight of it all crushing down on him. He thought of Katie, her tired eyes, her silence, the loneliness she must have carried all those years. A woman who had been invisible, underestimated, but who held more power and courage than anyone around her ever realized. Tears welled up in Daniel's eyes as he whispered into the silence, "I will find you, Katie, and I will finish what you started." The office felt cold, empty, but in that moment, he made a promise, not just to her, but to himself, no matter the cost, no matter the danger. Because some bonds, once formed, cannot be broken, and some truths demand to be told, even if they shatter everything you thought you knew. Daniel was no longer just a CEO. He was a man changed forever by the janitor who spoke 9 languages and by the secret she had trusted him to protect.